Real Madrid picked up a massive 3 points against Atalanta. And I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't that happy with the performance that I saw. Nonetheless, we got the job done. This was a must-win game. And I know it feels like I say that damn near every single video, but we all know the context behind that match. Heading into that game, we were sitting 24th in the Champions League standings. We were literally in the last spot that you can be in to qualify for the next round. So the fact that we were sitting that low in the table, the fact that we already have 3 losses in the UCL made this game very important. I mean, we had to treat that game like it was the Champions League final. Because if we would have dropped any points in that match, it makes qualifying for the next round so much harder. And now that I've had time to reflect on the game, we got to talk about 5 things that we learned from this match, right? This is not a match reaction. Make sure if you guys want to see my full thoughts on the match that you check out the reaction I dropped after the game. But we're going to talk about 5 very specific things in this video. So I need you guys to smash that like button, get in the comment section, and let me know what are some things you learned, and do you agree with the points that I bring up in this video? Let's get it. The first thing that I took away from this game against Atalanta was that the injury crisis at Real Madrid is an absolute joke. I have no idea what the hell is going on at this club, but it needs to be investigated because the injuries that we are getting on a daily basis is insane. Something is going wrong. I don't think we're just that unlucky. You guys saw Mbappé went down in the first half with an injury. Now, at the time of this recording, I have no idea the extent. I'm hoping that it was just a slight discomfort and he does not have to miss any significant time. But it's just frustrating because with Mbappé getting that injury, right, that also adds to a long list of players who aren't available right now, such as a Camavinga, a Ferland Mendy, right? Eder Militao, Danny Carvajal, David Alaba, who's still working his way back. And it's annoying because I think Mbappe scored that first goal really early in the first half, took a nice touch, had a very good finish, and I thought this guy was on his way to having arguably his best game as a Madrid player. And right when it looks like he's picking up his form, he goes and gets injured. Just as Vinicius has just come back from injury, right? Rodrigo just came back from injury. We are injury FC. The medical staff needs to be sacked. Our fitness coaches need to be sacked. Carlo Ancelotti also has to hold smoke as well because this guy's lack of substitutions throughout the season is starting to have an effect on these players because there's no real rotation. But I do not think we will make it through the rest of this season and end it on a high note if we do not reinforce this squad. Because there will be more injuries. We're only in December. We still have a whole second half of the season left, and there will be more injuries. We need to spend in January. We got to bring in a few players. We got to invest in the back line a little bit, in the midfield. But yes, the Mbappé news is definitely a huge blow. Again, at the time that I'm recording this, I'm not sure what the extent of that injury is. It's not been disclosed yet. But I'm hoping that he came off as a precaution, not because he physically could not play anymore. And I know that some people, or not even some, a lot of people are getting onto Mbappé, right? And I'm one of them. I don't think that Mbappe's been good enough. I think for the level of performances that we were expecting to see, Mbappe's been very underwhelming. But what I will say is, his form is getting better. You saw him score against Girona. You saw that good goal that he had against Getafe, right? He's starting to get his confidence back. And there's just no way that Mbappe is going to struggle for the entire season. Once he gets his shooting form back in order, it's over for the rest of Europe. So to not have him out there, right, it is kind of an L for us because we know how the club want to include him in the success, right? We know that he's going to be a big part of our season moving forward for the foreseeable future. So we need him out there on good form. I need him out there to build up chemistry with Vinicius, Rodrigo, Jude, Camavinga, like just all the guys. We need him there. So, yes, while some people might say, well, Mbappe being out isn't a problem because he's not been all that this season anyways, while I hear it, I also think we need him out there. And I think he will turn his form around. But the injuries, it's just getting crazy, bro. I don't think any team in Europe has had as many injuries as we've had. This is an absolute joke. But let me know what you guys think about the Mbappe injury, right? Do you think it's going to be a blow for us? Or are you one of those people that just think, look, Mbappe is washed. He's shit. He needs to be dropped anyways. So it's not a big deal. I do believe Mbappe should have been dropped for some of these games when he was struggling, right? I didn't agree with him being out there playing the full 90 minutes every single week. But I get it, right? The club chased him for a long time. He's on a lot of money. We need it to work out, and I think that it will. Mbappe looked like his form was starting to pick up, then got subbed out in the first half. Let's hope it's nothing significant because Mbappe is still one of the best players in the world. I don't care about his form being poor. Mbappe walks in to every single team in the world. A lot of people are talking about this guy like he's Nketiah, like he's a scrub. The names that I'm seeing get called in the chat is Nketiah, M Trash, M Booty, M Cheeks, M PayPal. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that is a bad connotation, they just add an M to it and they try to cook Mbappe. So let's see what happens. But yeah, man, we're not going to make it through this season because injuries will happen. And if we don't reinvest in the middle of the season, if we don't spend money in January, then the board is literally telling us to not have high hopes for the second half of the season. The second thing that I learned from this game is that Vinicius is him. This guy came back 10 days earlier than what he was supposed to after his injury, just to help us out because we know how big of a match this was. And he was one of our most impactful players. Vinicius, even at 60 or 70%, is still one of the best attackers in the world. Against Atalanta, he was everywhere. You saw him on the left wing. You saw him on the right wing. You saw him making runs centrally. You saw him dropping deep to receive the ball. You saw him helping out in defense. The impact that he has for us is immense. Vinicius is our best player. This is his team. And I think you see the difference when he's out there versus the games when he was injured. Because when Vinny was not there, in the final third, we looked very mediocre. We couldn't break down teams. We weren't getting enough shots. We didn't look like a threat in a lot of the games that Vinny missed. And now that he's back, you see the instant impact that he provides. He got a goal and he got an assist. Now, the assist is a little bit shameless, right? Because Jude definitely did most of the work for that goal. But nonetheless, we'll take it. I think he took his goal very well, right? The ball deflected off the defender. Vinicius was onside. And the finish was very good. So, look, I think as long as he didn't get a setback in this game, then I think it was worth him coming back early from injury. Now, I don't agree with him playing 90 minutes. I think Carlo Ancelotti should have definitely subbed him off a little bit earlier, but the game was close. There were times where it looked like Atalanta were going to equalize. So I get Carlo's thought process of we need to keep Vinny out there because if Atalanta score and now Vinicius is no longer on the pitch, our chances of scoring goes down significantly. I get that. But I just wish he was subbed though, because again, we cannot afford for Vinicius to get another injury and then have to miss a lot of time. But this was not his best game, right? We've definitely seen Vinicius perform a lot better, But it's okay because he came back early from injury, and I don't know if we win this game without him. Got a goal, got an assist, was impactful in other areas as well. He also creates a lot of space for his teammates. Vinicius is him. The third thing that I learned from this game is that Raul Asensio needs to start week in, week out, no matter who we are playing against. I do not understand the thought process that Carlo Ancelotti had with dropping Raul Asensio, who's been arguably our best defender since he's gotten his chances after Eder Militao went down with the injury. This guy must start. Now, Tchouaméni started at center back in this game. And I actually think that Tchouaméni was solid. But if you want to start Tchouaméni at center back, then put Raul Asensio at right back. I would much rather have Raul Asensio at right back over Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Vazquez is a massive liability. Everything positive for Atalanta was coming from their left wing, right? Lookman was cooking Vazquez all game. Every single time Lucas Vazquez is out there, our back line just always looks shaky. Every single time. This guy couldn't defend a light pole. Lucas Vazquez could not defend me in a 1v1. He couldn't defend anybody that's watching this in a 1v1. My grandmother would cook Lucas Vazquez. Raul Asensio has done enough to cement himself as a starter for the rest of the season. There's no reason for Carlo to be dropping him. We subbed him on in I don't know, the 90th minute, I think. Sorry, the 80th minute, I mean. And I think he was playing at right back. So we need to just start him there in these bigger games, right? Raul Asensio, he played against Liverpool, and even though we got cooked, he was the best defender in that game, right? So he passed a really big test. I think he could have started this match. Lucas Vazquez should not be starting any games where the other team has a very good winger, because it's just not going to work out. So, yeah, Raul Asensio needs to start, whether you want to put him at center back or you want to put him at right back. Now, preferably, right, I would put him at center back. That's his best position. Stop playing Tchouaméni there. Tchouaméni is a DM. Now, if Raul Asensio was trash, and because we have the Militao injury, and Jesus Vallejo was also garbage, if we didn't have any other options at center back, then yes, I would agree. Tchouaméni needs to be there. But Raul Asensio has performed at a very high level. There's no reason for Tchouaméni to be starting there over him. And if you're going to put Tchouaméni there, then put Raul Asensio at right back. Because not only is he very good defensively, right, but Asensio's ball carrying is good. This guy is a ball-playing defender. We see some of the passes that he makes. I've seen this guy carry the ball from the back way line into the final third. He can do it. So I don't doubt him at right back, because what I can tell you is that he is better defensively than Lucas Vazquez. And maybe if Raul Asensio started this game at right back, maybe Lookman is not as impactful as he was for this game. So Raul Asensio, I think, needs to be in the 11. No reason for Carlo to be dropping him when he's done nothing to be dropped. And then you could even make the argument, right? Well, Tchouaméni gave away a penalty. Now, I don't think it was a pen, but the facts are, on paper, it says Tchouaméni gave away the pen. Now, I think the player tripped on his own legs, and the ref gave the pen because Tchouaméni was close to him. But does that happen if Asensio is there? I don't know, and I don't think so. So, Carlo, find a way to put this guy back into the starting 11. Your lack of trust in young players is actually jarring, bro. Because when they're performing well, there's no need to take them out. Trust the youth. It's okay, bro. But Raul Asensio, a player that I've been very impressed with, right? He's been one of the bright spots of this season. Should not have been dropped for this match. The fourth thing that I learned from this game is that Jude Bellingham is the best 8 in the world. I mean, this guy on form right now is phenomenal. He is an absolute monster in that midfield. I can't think of a weakness that he has. He literally does everything. If you need him involved in the attack, he's there. If you need him to help defensively, he's there. If you need him to get a goal, he's there. If you need him to put in a good slide tackle or to cover some area that one of our fullbacks have abandoned to overlap, he's there. Jude Bellingham right now is on the form of his life. He is on fire right now, right? And I know everybody just wants to judge my box-to-box midfielder on GA, but even before the goal that he scored today, he was playing well, just like he has been for a majority of this season. I think he is the glue in that midfield. Jude is a player that you build your team around. He has been our best player for, I'd say, the last 4 to 5 weeks, maybe. He has been massive for us this season. And that goal that he took as well for us to get the third was fantastic. The way that he was able to cut in, he created space. And you could say that maybe it's poor goalkeeping, but regardless, he scored it. Look at the heat map. Name me another midfielder that's as impactful as Jude. That's an 8. A lot of people just seem to talk down on him, right? I've had people tell me that Jude is our worst midfielder just because he's not as aesthetically pleasing on the ball as other players are. But let's not act like he's not very impactful. We're very lucky to have a player like Jude, bro. And the midfield battle was important in this game because Atalanta have a very good midfield, right? Look at their guy Ederson, right? Ederson is an absolute monster. He's probably going to get a big money move to another really big club very soon. We know how physical Atalanta like to play. They're one of the best defensive teams in the UCL this season. And I would say, while they did look more dangerous than us, there were some good spells where our midfield was overrunning theirs. And Jude is a big part of that. And I think that goal was well deserved as well. Because when you put in a good overall performance like he had, and when you are usually making good runs, yeah, I think you deserve the goal as well. So, man, this guy, Jude, amazing form. We got to start putting more respect on his name, man. I know he's getting a lot of hate, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. The last thing that I learned from this match is that Atalanta are a legit threat for the Champions League. They're definitely a sleeper team that I think a lot of people should be worried about. They are on amazing form right now. And before they lost that game to Real Madrid, they were 14 games unbeaten. They were sitting top of Serie A. They didn't lose a UCL game until they played us. And before our match, they only conceded 1 goal as well. And against us, they were very threatening. I think they were the more dangerous team. They had a lot of chances. Like after we scored that first goal, they were all over us. They got the penalty to end the first half. And then in the second half, right, we got our 2 goals very quick to go up 3-1. And then from there, it was all Atalanta. Lookman on that left wing was phenomenal. He was arguably the best player on the pitch. Everything that they had going forward for them that was positive was coming from that left side of their attack. We all know the quality that Ederson has in midfield as well. I think he had a very good game against us. One of the best CMs in the world, in my opinion. He can defend. He can also help you in attack. He's cool and collective on the ball. I think Kolasinac also had a good game, right? They have so many players that I don't think a lot of people pay that much attention to. But I think with the form that Atalanta have been on, you got to take them serious. I mean, look at the standings for them, right? As I said earlier, before this game, they were in the top 8, right? They were undefeated. They were cooking teams. They only conceded 1 goal. And even though they lost, right, there's still only 1 spot behind 8th. They are going to qualify for the next round. And based on the game that we just played, I have grown a newfound respect for them. Now, we've beaten them twice so far this season, right? The first time we took them out was in the UEFA Super Cup, right? Back in August, we beat them 2-0. And then now we beat them 3-2. And they had a chance to equalize right there at the end, right? Lookman puts the ball into the box. Open net. I don't know how they missed. This game should have ended 3-3. I'm very happy that it didn't. But they had an amazing opportunity right there at the end to get something from this match. But Atalanta are a team that I don't think a lot of people would want to see in the next round. I don't want to play them again, right? Because they gave us a hard time. And I know that they can give a lot of teams a hard time in the UCL, right? So again, look at where they are on the table right now. They're sitting ninth, right? And then if you also want to look at Serie A, they're currently top of the league. They are cooking this season. And we got to start putting a little bit more respect on Atalanta. A lot of people, I don't think we're talking about them. I didn't really hear anybody talking about how well Atalanta were playing. I didn't even realize the form that they were on until I looked into them to do my match preview. And I'm thinking, damn, I didn't know Atalanta were hooping like that this season. But they are a dark horse team in this UCL competition. But I want to know what you guys think, right? What about Atalanta did you like from this game? And a lot of their players there, it's just so hard for me to pronounce their last names that I'm not going to even try it on stream, or else I'm going to make myself look like a complete idiot. But they got a lot of underrated guys over there, and their system, right? That 3-4-1-2 is very unique, and it gives them really good balance. So, yeah, man, look, Atalanta, they went toe-to-toe with Real Madrid, and to be fair, they were the better team on form. I would say that Real Madrid were the underdogs. It's not many times that you can say that about us. But nonetheless, they still had to hold that L. Yo, I want to know what you guys thought about some of the points that I brought up, right? Make sure you guys get in the comment section and let me know about anything else that I might have missed, something that you thought of for this game. And make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Massive 3 points. We can still finish in the top 8. We need a lot of things to go in our favor. But if we win our next 2 games, right, I think that we're playing Salzburg and then we're playing Sydney Sweeney FC. I'm talking about Brest, all right? We can do something, guys. I know this UCL campaign for us has been shit, but we're never out of it. And guess what? I might say that we are a dark horse team because our form has not been good this season. But I tell you what, as much as people want to talk shit about us, talk about how our players are not doing well, I guarantee you that nobody wants to see us in the knockout rounds. But as I said, man, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and get in the comment section. Holla Madrid.